Yes, so Mark and I had a mutual friend. He says he had seen pictures of me, so he wanted to reach out. He was too shy. So we ended up running into each other at Dollar General in Hartford, and then kind of messaged each other on social media and just built a friendship from there online.
Met Dani through a mutual friend and coworker. I was friends with a coworker on Facebook and seen her name come across multiple times, so I decided she looked like she was a nice girl, so I added her as a friend just to get to know more people. And eventually, after a while, we decided that we wanted to hang out, and it went from there.
Mark was really shy, but he had a big heart. He didn't want people to know that, but he does.
She's a very, very attractive lady. I was talking to her for months before we actually met in first, and she was always there talking to me and telling me how I'm doing good with my life, and it was just nice to meet someone that was actually caring enough. And finally we got to meet, and I was stunned by what she looked like, and her personality just shined.
On his first birthday that we shared together, I blew up 36 balloons in our little apartment and wrote a reason why I loved him on every single balloon.
I remember my 36th birthday. I was always in relationships where that didn't matter. So I remember coming home one day and the house was decorated. There was 36 balloons, and every single balloon had something written why she cared and loved me. And it just made me feel special. That was also the night she introduced me to Mexican-style tacos, and it's been a love relationship for that since.
It took a lot of time. I'm definitely scared of balloons popping, so, but.
It had to be a couple months in of living together. We moved pretty quickly. We decided that it was a better idea for us to move in as soon as we started dating. All our family liked each other. I had nothing but good praises for my family, saying that she was the one for me, and everything seemed easy. After we worked on some of our past relationship issues, and from there on, it's just been an easy relationship, and couldn't ask for anything more.
Mark knew I always struggled with infertility. When I met him, I had already lost 3 babies from prior pregnancies. So at that point, I thought that Mark would be perfect for me because he didn't want any more children at that time. So I went into our relationship thinking that I would eventually be a stepmom to his kids, and I was okay with that. I was comfortable with that. So we went to see my OB one day to talk about getting a hysterectomy. My OB asked me if I was sure. She said that the chances of conceiving were slim but not impossible, but it would be risky. And Mark spoke up that day in the exam room and said he wanted to try. So we tried for over a year, and we lost 2 babies, but got a beautiful little girl out of it. So.
Well, her personality is sometimes pretty strong, but her caringness, how she thinks about everyone else but herself, was nice. We have a kid together, but before that it was just my son and me, and she was always thinking of him first. It was never about her, never about me. It was about him, that showed me a lot about her personality to care for another kid that wasn't hers.
I love that he has a really big heart and he would help anyone with anything. So, yeah. I think our most challenging moment was when we had 2 miscarriages. Kind of had the first one and struggled to get through that, and then right after that we had another one. So I think that was really difficult, but made us really strong. So.
Just the normal arguing. Past relationships, when I argued with a person I was with, it was just never ever got settled. It was always hurt feelings. But with Dani, it was easy. We talked it through. Usually after like an hour, we're better, just because we sat there and talked and figured it out and showed each other's perspective of what was wrong, and it just worked out for us.
Yeah, we both played on a dart league together in Hartford. We obviously can't do that anymore because we have a baby, so we take turns, but if we ever have a fancy date night out, we like to end it with some darts, so yeah.
Music. Before we even started dating, I would always send her songs that I heard that I thought were cool, and she responded like, I like that song, and then it just kept on growing from there. Darts was a big thing for me. I love playing darts. I got to share that interest with her, and we did a couple leagues together, and she's always going to be my partner for darts. And lastly is we both like to go out and have good meals, especially Mexican food. So we really enjoy the similar stuff that we do every day.
I think my favorite memory is just having Mackenzie in the hospital and watching Mark bond with her and love her. I think there's nothing better than seeing the person you love be a parent.
My favorite memory is a couple years ago, I knew she was having a very bad day. I was working all day. I got off, went to grocery store quick, got us stuff for a little picnic and some flowers. She came home. I walked outside with a cooler full of food and flowers, and I said, move over, we're going out to our lake. And we sat out on lake, had a picnic. Just because I knew she was having a bad day, just showing her that I cared for her more than anything else was great.
So we have a special spot out by Wall Lake. It's like the little wildlife preserve. And we went out there and Mark pretended like we needed to get an updated picture. Put his cell phone in a tripod and we posed for a fake picture, and then he got down on one knee. So he's pretty smooth.
Well, this was the most recent thing that happened. It was the weekend that our parents took me out for my birthday. We went out and had a good meal. I wasn't 100% sure knew I was going to do it till that morning of, and I was nervous. I was trying to figure out how to get everything out into the car without her seeing. I was nervous I was going to lose a ring that day, but we went out to eat, told her, hey, kids are going with Grandma. We're going to have a date night together alone. And then eventually I took her out to the lake that we always hung out at, and she told me that my heart was going 100 miles an hour when I was giving her a kiss and hug, and I got down on one knee, and I was so nervous I was going to drop the ring in the water, but it all turned out all right.
Our engagement just signifies how strong we are and how committed we are to spending our life together. I don't think I could imagine a life without Mark and his kids, so the thought of even living without Mark is unthinkable.
If we want something, I'd rather her get it. If I want something to do with my life, I'd rather her sport it. So I came to a mutual thing that if it's important enough for them to bring up, it's important enough to follow. So I'll be 100% behind her every single time in any decision, career, life choices.
I think just going to our special place out by Wall Lake, the little wildlife preserve, we probably spent lots of hours out there, so that's just kind of our spot.
That everything happens for a reason. I had to wait a long time to find the perfect person, and I did.
I guess just like staying positive and, reinforcing not giving up and just keep going, even if it's hard. So.
We just always have fun together. It's never boring. Even if it's just going to the grocery store, she either says something that's funny to me or I act like a complete moron in front of her. It's just always fun with her.
Mark always makes fun of me because I made the move for our first kiss, which happened to be at a Qdoba parking lot. So it's not romantic, but if you knew how much I love tacos, it only makes sense that our first kiss was at Qdoba in the parking lot. So It's memorable, not romantic, but memorable.
That honesty is the best policy. We need to trust each other to make it through a relationship, and that our own feelings is insignificant compared to the feelings of both of us. So choose both of us over yourself.
I put trust. I think that we both kind of struggled with that in the past with other relationships, so it's very important to both of us now to have that in this relationship, and we value it a lot.
Just having an open and honest relationship. Past relationship has never been easy to deal with. We had a lot of relationships that didn't work out, and we started dating and we started figuring out that we're not in the past, we're in the future, and we got to keep working on bettering ourselves and trusting each other.
I think that we've really grown a lot just again with our trust issues. We both had to initially establish that trust should be given unless it's broken. Now we've grown so much that we can sit out in public and we'll just be observing strangers, or and we'll be like, dang, I'm glad we're not like that. So yeah, we're pretty comfortable where we're at, and it's nice.
Talking to each other. Everything can be solved by just talking. Having a bad day, if you talk it out, they're here to support you, and it'll make everything better. And then just be trustful of each other. They're there for you.
My only advice is that when you go through something as a couple that's really hard, don't shut down. Talk about it, and no matter how hard it is to talk about it, I think it's important to communicate how you're feeling.
Just having my partner for life. I waited a long time for this. I'm so excited at building our future together, raising our kids, and I'm excited to keep going on with this.
I think just spending every day together and growing old together and watching our kids grow up.
Just to raise our kids right and eventually start settling down more with a house and growing old together.
I just think for married life, we really want to buy our first home. We've definitely outgrown our current living space, so that's our one mutual goal in life, at least for now, is to buy a home.
Infinite. I don't think I can make it this another day without her. I love her so much, and I'm ready to be her husband.
I think strong, steady, and honest.
I waited a long time for this, but you're my soulmate. I love you. I couldn't ask for anyone better to be a stepmom, mom to my kids, and I really do love you, and I'm glad you finally gave me the chance.
I would just like to say thank you to Mark for always being there for me, even if he couldn't be there for himself sometimes. We definitely didn't start our relationship in the conventional way, because we moved in with each other literally 2 weeks after we started dating. At that time, we didn't have any better options. So thank you for not being a serial killer. No, but really, we've had a tough 2 years. We've gone through some really tough things together that most people will never experience in their lifetime, but we made it through. Obviously, life is never going to be perfect, and bad things will continue to happen because that's life, but good things are happening too. I feel like if we could make it through all the things that life has thrown at us the last 2 years, we can make it through anything. So to Mark, thank you for being my best friend, and thank you for always looking out for me, specifically making sure I don't forget things or misplace my keys. Thank you for being such a great dad to Mackenzie. I've enjoyed watching you blossom into the human that you are now. You are a great dad to all of your children, and I love each and every one of them just as I love you. I know that you didn't believe that you were strong and worthy of love at one point in your life, but I'm here today to tell you that you are. You are worth every single tear that I have ever cried in my life, because if someone would have told me that over the years I would experience all of the bad things that I went through, but in the end I would have you. I would go through all those bad things again, knowing that you would eventually be my forever. That's it.
Perfect. That's the last question. That's a wrap.
Thank you.